So you were talking about that brain evolution, right? And, you know, let me ask you as far as the book, yeah, when you're younger, obviously you're making numerous mistakes, or small things that you don't know. Do you think it's really that evolution of the book? Do you think it's an experience gap, or is there any way to sort of shorten the time of errors as you move forward to make sure a lot of your leaders maybe don't commit errors that they're going to commit, but where are they coming from? Is it an
Well,
evolution
if
thing?
it's to you personally, get a good coach.
Yeah.
I firmly believe in investing in myself. I had a great thing the other day. Someone was talking to me. I've got a coach, and I was talking to her, and she did a great thing of really showing me the power of coaching. She said, you've got great vision out here. This 180 degrees, you see it all, you act to it, you work at it. She says, but you don't see what's back here. She said, that's my job. I help you see what's back there. And I thought about that and looked at a couple examples, and she's absolutely correct. Once you become aware of it, you can work on it. So I think coaching is very important. I think that you as a leader, if you're having some challenges in that area, you're probably not getting the coaching you need. And then if it's someone underneath you, they need coaching. Bottom line, they need coaching. One of the biggest challenges you got with people that are in mid-management is avoiding blame. Most corporations, your number one job is make sure you don't get blamed, right? So a lot of time and energy spent on that. So we have to work with our younger people to get over that gap and learn how to deal with them in such a way where when a mistake happens, it's going to happen. Here's what we could do better. Let's do it this way next time. But when you start making them feel it, blame, and then you create resentment, and resentment is such a big block to growth.
And let me ask you, obviously the other day we were having a conversation about books that impacted our life, right? We talked about, for yourself, how it was Think and Grow Rich. For me, it was a book that you shared with me, which was Man in the Mirror. How would it make you feel in the future if someone describes that towards your book?
I would hope that I could help somebody, that the book would take them in a direction to let them achieve everything they want to have in their life. That's, you write the book. Now I'm trying to promote the book a little bit. I'm doing that. I don't think the book is going to be a financial success. I'm not doing it because of that. If the more people that can read that book, if it makes a difference in their life, and they get something out of it that then they share with somebody else and it makes a difference there. I'm a big believer in this. The reward takes care of itself. If you focus on doing whatever you can do for others, the reward takes care of itself. If you're only doing something for somebody else with your other hand extended waiting for your reward, it doesn't work that way. And you see that. Some of the most successful, happy people in the world are the ones that are helping the most people. That's my mentality and philosophy in anything I do and what I did with the book, because I think the book's a vehicle that will allow me to reach more people that could use some of the stuff we talk about in the book to better their lives. And I am a firm believer that if they do that and it betters their lives, they'll be more than willing to share that with others. So we'll better some more lives. That's why I do.
Yeah, I love it. Obviously, we went to a seminar with Anthony Robbins, and Pitbull gave a speech, and he talked about that. At the beginning, you're all about what can I get for myself, and then you realize true happiness comes from starting to give. As much as I can give, I can give, I can give, and that creates real impact, and it's magical, right? The more you give, the more you end up receiving, So I think it's a phenomenal way to look at it. And speaking about the book, obviously leadership is, it's not just we relate it so much with work, but how do you think being able to gain these leadership skills helped you so much in developing such a beautiful family that you have?
Because for years I thought that I would get up and put on my work body and go to work and then come home and take it off and put it away. What I've learned and discovered, it's all married. I mean, how I treat my wife, how I treat my children, how I treat anybody in my life is the same, people don't like to hear about it. I talk about love. I truly believe in love, and I do have a full-on belief in a higher power, and I think that dealing with my children is the same as dealing with somebody at work. They need help on something. I need to coach them. They're equal to me. I have learned my children are equal to me. Yes, I'm a parent, and I have to set some boundaries, But if I do it right, it's not painful. They understand the reason behind it, and they understand the reason of the boundary, and they understand the consequence if they didn't have that boundary, what would happen. So, not for me, but just for life, right? So I try and teach them the same way I do that with people at work and coaching people at work. Once again, if you apply the same principles in your family and you work hard on your family, any damage that's done can be fixed. You can build a beautiful relationship. There's great communication, great interaction between everybody, and a lot of joy and happiness in that family.
Yeah, I see you gain that obviously a lot through your faith as well. At the end of the day, faith is all about that leadership. You can't force someone to have to follow. The path has to be laid for them to want to follow and listen to that value. And I think it's something that you've also been able to share with your family. Being able to make sure that we all look at you as somebody we want to follow, not someone that we have to because you're our father, but more because you become this incredible man sharing and giving, and we're attracted to that.
And I'm going to tell you, Brian, that's another gift from Alcoholics Anonymous. Learning and understanding that I'm not it. There is a power greater than me, and once I understood that and started living that way, it changed my life.
Yeah, with that, I want to share, sort of close it all together with that idea of how do you make sure to, with that inner critic that sometimes isn't as objective as we'd like, how do you make sure that people control that sort of mindful management of themselves and others?
I think that we're all going to question stuff inside of ourselves. How I manage that is measurement. If it's a new concept that we're going to try and the inner critic comes out with all the fear, why not? Then what I try and do is I try and establish if I can't measurement, that's a different story. If I can't measure something, then yes, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to do it. But I've found I can measure everything. Got to decide what it is I'm trying to do, figure out how I'm going to measure it, and then that silences the inner critic because now I'm going to try it, right? And then I have the right that as I try it and I measure, if my measurements show me this, I'm wrong, it's not something I can do, then I'm willing to step back, look at it, and recreate, right? But the inner critic is a byproduct of fear. Generally, the inner critic is telling me that because it's scared of either fame, fortune, reputation, what other people are going to say, what other people are going to think. That's what drives that inner critic a lot of the time. And once again, there's a difference between the inner critic and insight. And the difference is measurement.
Obviously, I want to thank you so much. I want to finish this episode just saying I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I look forward in the future to use this venue as an opportunity to ask my own questions and see where that leads. But I want to thank you for the book because there's all these things that you've sort of naturally taught me throughout my life. And it's nice to be able to have something that's like a blueprint of, that's why that mattered, that's why that was the way it should be. So I think it's something that's going to have great impact for a lot of people because I've already seen in my life how it's given me a blueprint of why things should be done the way they should be versus me just learning that that's the way things should be done. So I really want to thank you for sharing that with others and everybody out
if
there.
You look at the title of the book, Brian, it's interesting. It's a simple blueprint for bold leadership. And what I've tried to do is first off taking it from how you're dealing and working with others, right? And then the second part of the book is really talking about the stuff inside. Because I think it's important. We all have to realize we have work to do. And for the rest of our lives. I don't want anybody to ever think they made it, they're now enlightened. I got to tell you, I'm out there around a lot of people, and I don't see any of them floating up into the air with a bright light bringing them up there, right? We all have work to do. So it's the second part of the book talks a lot about some of the things, some of the why of how we feel, what we think, where it's coming from. So I highly recommend people. And I want to take this opportunity to say to everybody out there, everybody who sees this or hears this, I really want to thank you for how you received the book, your comments, your many likes on Facebook and Instagram. I really want to thank you for your reception there, and I would ask that you that share it with your friends, forward the reels, forward the Instagrams. I think together we can make this grow. My vision is that we can do something here that's just fabulous. We could do something that can actually help cure the world. You know, I think that if we can get people to understand how we talk to each other and how we support each other, we'll be able to make a lot of progress, not only in our business lives, but in our personal lives and our interactions with others, and the world can be a better place. And I'd like to help as many as we can, and I can only do that with you. I appreciate everything you've done, and feel free to go online there and make a review. If you bought the book on Amazon, I think they'll allow you to make a review. Certainly you can make a review there on the webpage, makeithappen.com, makeithappenleadership.com, pardon me. And all your support I'm very thankful for. Thank you very much.
As the book says, let's make it happen.